Hello again. Welcome back to JavaScript for Beginners. In this episode, we will look at arrays, loops, and the basics of manipulating the document object model, which is we call DOM. So let's jump in. So we have our old workspace here, same as the old one. I just renamed the index.html to another file. The next one I will call it as Ep3, as this is the third episode, and then I will type in. And then again, same thing, exclamation, emit, and then I have it. Now I will call it loops, arrays, and DOM. Okay. So inside the body tag, I will have another h1, again, same thing, hello again. And then I will also have a script tag, which inside we will work on. So first things first, we will create an array. So what is an array? Array is like a single variable in which we can store multiple values in it. So let's consider let fruits equal to, and then the array syntax is this one square bracket opening and then one square bracket closing. That's it. That's it. There you have it. That's it. That's the array syntax. And now you can add elements into it. Let's add one element as apple, another one as banana, and then another one as cherry. All right, now you have the array with you. Now what I will do is I will try to print console.log and then fruits. So same thing, I will again fire up my live server, which will open. Now you have it, and then I go here and then go to inspect and then head over to console. Okay, so just refresh again because it's actually showing. Okay, now once you refresh, you have this particular array that's being printed into the console. If you click on this particular drop down, as you can see, it's saying that JavaScript identifies it as array because of the syntax. So inside the array, we have apple, banana, and cherry. If you look closely, you can see that the index, basically, this is the index, what we call at which position is this element is being stored in. So the index starts from 0. In most of the programming language, the index always starts from 0. Even though the length is 3, the index actually starts from 0. So if you want to access the first value, which is apple, then you have to do fruits and then again square bracket opening and closing and then do the 0th index, which will give you the first element. Okay, so if you want to have the third element, you have to go for fruits of 2, then you will have the third element. If you want to know the full length of that particular array, there is another functionality in JavaScript where you can go fruits dot length. Okay, that's it. And then if you save it, you can see the second index element is cherry, and then the fruits dot length will give you the total length of that particular array. So these are some of the basic array operations. Now let's discuss what are loops. There are different types of loops in JavaScript, such as for loop, while loop. For now, we will concentrate on the for loop, and then we want to print out all the, let's say in this scenario, we will print out all the fruits that's available in the fruits array. So for that, we will go with for loop syntax, which is like for, and then normal brackets open and close, and then angle bracket open and close. Inside the normal bracket, we will say let. So whenever you're going to declare a variable, you use const or let, right? So in this case, we will use let I equal to 0. 0 in the sense like you can use any value, if it's 1 or 0, whatever you want. And then based on the value you have set, you have to say that, okay, I want to iterate this loop until the fruit stored length is reached, right? So this is the first declaration saying that, okay, I want to start the ith value with 0. If that's the case, I want to increase value of I until a fruit stored length is less than ith value. So in this scenario, what we are saying is this will run until the value of I equal to 2, which is 2 is actually less than fruit stored length, which is 3. but on the next iteration it will become 3. I's value will become 3, and then the fruit store length will be 3. So that is an equality condition which will fail in this case, right? So if you want to satisfy that condition as well, you have to put an equal symbol. In this case we are not putting the equal symbol, which means it will only run until ith value is 2. So until that time, what we will do is like console.log and then fruits of I. That's it. Now you will have everything. So apple, banana, cherry, all are being printed in the loop. Okay, now you have the for loop. So the one thing to notice is that it will always start at the index of the array is always at 0, and then you have to consider that part when you program. So now on to the DOM manipulation part. So DOM is basically the document object model which you have access to the browser. So in the browser, if you look close to it, you can see all the head part, the body part, and inside the body part we have the script which is all written here. So we call this whole area as DOM. So if you hover onto it, like you can see, this is an h1 tag and it's actually being highlighted over here. So this whole part we call it as DOM. So if you want to modify and say that, so we have this hello again, right? And we can give a class or an ID to it. For now we will give an ID saying that this is my root element. Okay, and then if you want to change the value of that particular root element, what you can do is document. You have access to certain variables inside the DOM itself, which one of them is document. We have other ones as window and everything, which we will learn on the advanced classes. So in this particular scenario, what we can do is like we will access the document document object, which is provided by JavaScript, and then you say that get element by ID. So you are basically asking JavaScript to return an element by ID with the ID root. So this will give you the element with the root ID. If you want to see what exactly that element is, you can always console.log and it will give you the full element, as you can see over here. So now I will store that particular value into const root element. Okay, and then inside the root element we have the actual root element over there. If you do console.log rootel, the same thing here. And if you notice that this particular root element has so many functions that's associated with it. So one of them is inner HTML. So we can actually change this particular value to reflect over here. We can actually change inner HTML and inner text, both of them. We can change other values, but for now we will go with changing the inner HTML value. So let's say rootel dot inner HTML equal to hello world from the DOM. Now if you save it, as you can see, the value has been changed. So this is what you call the basic DOM manipulation part. So then you can do other scenarios in which, like, even if you do inner text with this, in this scenario it will also work, but in other scenarios it might not work, because like inner text and inner HTML has different functionalities. Different scenarios it meant to be used. And if you see inner text, to make sure it worked, hello world using inner text, yeah, it's working. Okay, so we will learn more about like different DOM manipulation techniques as the episodes go on. And as for the episode today, that's it. So that's our introduction to arrays, loops, and basic DOM manipulation. In our next episode, we will continue with more advanced topics and start building your first project later on. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe to stay updated. Happy coding. I'll see you in the next episode.